Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So this is a very special one, as I am joined with a special guest today who is a fellow YouTuber. He has almost 1,000 subscribers, by the way. You can check out his link down below in the description. He has awesome guides on how to use dragons. He has a bunch of gameplay on the new stuff that comes out, whether seasons or otherwise. Very experienced. He's actually an officer on the number 2 team. So it is an honor to have him here. So what is up, Salty McNalti?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty
Just
good.
relaxing, taking a lunch break, and talking to you.
Sounds like a blast. I know you were at the beach. How did that go?
Good. Yeah, my parents have a house by the beach. I go try and visit them when I can.
Wow, that sounds nice. Haven't been to the beach in a while, so.
Perks of living in Florida. Just I'm
Yeah, I'm in
hour or
Texas.
two away from the beach.
Yeah, I think I'm about 8 hours from any beach, and the only beach that's close to me is Galveston, which is not the best. So that sounds great. So would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, your channel, kind of what you got, how you got into the game, that sort of thing?
I got into the game just by chance. I downloaded it and really liked flying dragons, and that was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now. I don't know how long the game's been around. I kind of got into Diamond 1, and then I just kind of stayed there for a long time, bounced around a few teams since, I've played the game this long, and I just work on flying. That's the only thing I care about is flying, so, which I'm sucking at right now on 85s. With
Man,
Earth
they're
Flags.
tough. They have a lot of HP. I don't think they're as big of a bonus as I thought they'd be. Lucian seems to be able to do somewhat well, at least not when triple defended against a base like JL, but he's not doing too bad. But I saw your video, which was really cool. Again, you guys can check it down in the description. But yeah, you're a really good flyer.
I'm trying. I'm struggling with Earth Flags and 85s on longs. On
Oh
big
yeah, Earth
bases.
Blacks are really annoying. Yeah,
Once
that
the
HP.
HP slaps on those, they're quite hard to kill.
Right. So I know you've been an officer on But We Are Better for about 2 months. How is that being an officer? I mean, that must be crazy being on one of the top teams in the game.
It's just timing. You got to talk to everybody. You got to talk to lots of people. I think that's any officer in any team is talking to people, getting stuff done, trying to keep everybody happy all at the same time. Yeah, it's not what I wanted, but I knew that I could help out for some time.
Sure. Yeah, it is quite a bit of work. Obviously, I'm not diamond, but even now, leadership does take quite a bit of time. So, anyways, the main point of this podcast, so to speak, was I wanted to talk about the new Atlas changes as well as kind of the balance issues as far as Atlas goes. I know we've talked a little bit about the leaderboard and kind of how Atlas ranking is going to be set up soon. So I was curious about your opinion on how you feel like these new Atlas updates that are going to be implemented soon are going to go or affect this, I guess, the way the Atlas works right now.
Well, currently with their new update they're coming out with, the level cap for 100% glory will be 500 instead of 400, which will actually hurt probably the top 5 teams a little bit more than that. Because basically, below level 500, you're not going to be able to get 100% glory, which for these smaller teams is going to be a godsend.
Oh
Because
yeah.
teams like Dread, LD, and BWOB, we don't have a whole lot of players below 500 anymore. So we're not going to be able to hit all these lower teams anymore. And just like us, our team did drop far down. So we've been hitting lower teams than we should. But that's just kind of how it goes. And that'll be even harder for us now. A 400 or a 399 is going to be almost probably no glory for us. Versus right now it's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that is a very big jump going from 400 to 500. I mean, I'm not sure how many. I know there's a bunch of 500s in the game, but going because I'm a pretty big glory hunter. Like yesterday, I killed about 2 million troops. But going around, there's not a ton of low 500s parked on castles. So I think for people like myself and you guys, you big guns, it is going to be quite a big impact on glory.
I think a more relative number would probably be 475 to 450 would have been a better number, only because 475, a lot of those players have 85 towers or higher, and,
Mm-hmm.
and 80s or higher, and they're defendable bases. Where I get like below 450, it starts getting versus Empyrean Dragons is really hard to defend against. I think that's what they're trying to counter,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the jump to 500, but I also think for the most part, bases over 500, it is going to be even keeled and going to be defendable against any dragon tier.
It makes sense, but as someone who likes farming stuff, it is going to get quite annoying to find targets. But I think for the lower level teams, like you said, it's going to be really helpful to make sure that they don't get farmed too much. Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's a good change. What do you think about the new Atlas influence? Now it's the sum of all the players' dragon attack power, I believe, without gear or anything else.
Well, like they said, they were trying to stop sandbagging, which I fully understand. They don't want teams like us, for instance, dropping all their castles and lowering our influence. Now, we lowered our influence, but we only have 15 castles and like 2 or 3 level 4s at max, and we're still in the high 30s for ranking. I don't know exactly what our ranking is, but I know we're high 30s, and we're still 80 or 90% on glory. So for us, it's not going to change much. We're going to go back up into a high ranking. It'll make us 100% glory for our castle guards, but we're already 100% glorious players anyways, so it makes little to no difference on us. Where I think it makes a difference is the lower teams already. I think for the most part, the lower teams, this will actually help them. If you're owning level 4s, you still are 100% glory, so I don't know what the difference is. Maybe hide your level 3s. Maybe it'll make it harder for, like, my team. We won't be able to attack the lower levels because they don't have the dragons to fight back. So
Right.
That might be a good thing. So we'll have to see how much it affects the higher teams being able to get glory.
So I'm excited because another part of this update is they're releasing the Silver Primarchs, the Silver 2 Primarchs, which I was afraid that they were going to make it to where they were going to kill up to 50k at a time. They didn't do that. They're just improving the stats, which I think is going to be okay. But, I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's give more incentive for using, the max siegers and destroyers that people have, because we can finally actually do something in the prime leveling event.
I do agree. Probably the next tier of Primarchs was in the line to happen. Most people don't have much to level, and the bigger guys, of course, power leveled them anyways, but the regular players don't have anything to level as well, which is, not great. The only thing I would like to see change probably is Taunters, Silver Taunter. Do something about the troop loss on them. There's very few people in the game that ever use a Silver Taunter. There's really no reason to use it currently. I don't know what they could do besides make the troop loss different on it. The stats on it aren't bad, but there's no reason to actually use it.
Yep, because they're targeted immediately. I mean, honestly, they could just increase the stats on them, like not the attack maybe, but increase the defense, making it comparable to maybe a rusher or a trapper. Sorry, I'm not used to the term still, but make
Trapper is the modern lingo these days for us.
Yeah. I keep tagging my team and saying rushers, and they're like, what? Like, dang it. It's trapper now. But making comparable to a trapper may even that out a little bit. But yeah, it's just you get targeted immediately. So.
Yeah, that's the nature of a taunter. That's what you wanted to do. But unfortunately, as a silver taunter, unless you're burning 150k off a taunter, it's not going to do much as a silver Primarch. It's just going to get burned through in a couple seconds.
Unless you're JL.
Unless you are JL or one of the top, 20 people in the game.
Very, very few players can get through that, let alone with one dragon. So you're pretty much good to go. So that pretty much covers the update. As far as balance goes, so we've talked a little bit. I mean, pretty much if you look at the leaderboards for the seasons, it's completely Dread teams, which, is fair, right? They are a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people say Dread has won Atlas. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that in a sense. Very, very few teams can stand up to the Dread 5 TA or the 5, like the other 5 TA that is associated with Dread, whatever all the politics are, I don't care. But very hard to stand up to them. As far as this season ranking goes, so the leaderboard changes. What, do you have any ideas on how to, fix it, so to speak, to make it a little bit more balanced for teams who may not be able to stand up to Dread, so to speak, but who are still very, very strong? Teams like But We Are Better. Not saying you guys can't stand up to them, of course, but, it's very difficult.
I think the whole thing with the season rankings is they want it castle-based because they want castles to exchange hands. Unfortunately, the level 5s do not exchange hands on a regular basis. The level 4s, only a strong handful of them exchange bases on certain points, and neither alliance side wants them. So they just exchange hands to whoever's dumb enough to pick them up at the time. So the whole season rankings, I guess, works towards the lower tier, but just like Diamond 1 with Wars, it doesn't work towards the upper tier. Not for the same reasons, but kind of the same thing. It never changes, and it kind of always stays the same in the top 20, top 15 teams. There is ways they could do it. I mean, they've tried Glory before. I guess they didn't like that. I get that people can cheat that with swapping Castle Guards, but they could do things about that. They could change the way Glory counts for attacking certain things. Maybe Castle Guards are worth less. Attacking Primarchs are worth more. Success rates on Primarchs overall. Stuff like that. You could do different things. It could not just be changing castles. It could be more than that. That could still be part of it. Maybe events overall. You could factor in every Atlas event for the team. So even these lower level teams that spend a lot, you see them come really high in Atlas events.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That would be cool, actually. Because that kind of ties into overall Atlas activity. Because you have smaller teams, like, I don't know if you know them, but Angels and Demons, a super duper strong Atlas team, but they're lower ranked because they have lower levels. But they're, super duper active in Atlas, every single one of their players. And they do fairly well in Atlas events. So maybe tying into the Atlas events as well. Yeah, I like that. I don't know. PG seems to come up with some ideas that are unique or stuff that I wouldn't even think of. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some changes, or at least I hope we do.
I think we all hope they do change something to make Atlas more competitive in the nature besides just farming glory.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Atlas has become, honestly, because there's castles exchange hands, but not very many of the top castles change, like you said. So there's not much to work towards, really.
There's not much to work towards besides getting glory and making sure that your team is safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all you can do, but you have fun doing it. Schedule raids, do stuff like that, keep it exciting for your team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure PG realizes it's a little stale right now. I hope they do. I'm sure they're getting a lot of feedback about that, and I hope they take into consideration some changes to make it competitive.
I think they're trying with these Atlas updates. It seems like they're, attempting to make Atlas a little bit more balanced. Whether or not it's super effective is another story, but it seems like they're trying at least, which is, I think, an improvement. Not much has changed really in Atlas in the last year or so, at least from what I've experienced.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say from when Atlas started, this is a whole different monster
Oh,
than
yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
But in the last probably 4 to 5 seasons, there hasn't been much of a difference. And that's fine. They have core mechanics and they want to keep them. But you can always shift how, just like any PvP event works. They're changing those. They're trying to make them better for everybody. They can do the same thing with these season rankings.
Exactly. Speaking of changes, they've changed wars recently. What's your thoughts on that? 6th and 7th flames. Never would have thought of that.
I wouldn't have either. I think it's going to be a great change for a lot of the game. I still think for Diamond 1, we still probably won't war. I don't think Dread's done a war probably in months to probably 6 months plus. We've done a couple just for fun. I'm sure they did the same thing just for fun. Other than that, most teams don't war in Diamond. There's no real point. You don't get anything for it anymore with the Atlas being so important. 5 egg tokens or 100 egg tokens doesn't make a difference for 2-3 rating. So what's the point in doing it? There isn't. So we do Atlas and regular war rankings have nothing to do with it.
Honestly, I don't see much of Sapphire warring a whole lot either. I know some teams do if you're trying to push up, but there's no point to it. The 100 egg tokens that you get, you can do 3 egg token missions, or actually just 1 of the top egg token missions a day. Why spend 24 hours, online straight defending? There's not really a purpose to it. There's no incentive.
For the longest time, it was more about pride and about flight skill. And now those things still could be there, but people just don't care about that as much when you can lose a lot more in Atlas and gain a lot more in Atlas in a 24-hour time period than a war.
I think it's going to add a lot more strategy to wars because right now it's pretty standard. For most teams. I know certain teams, like probably the top Diamond teams, have their own strategies that, we don't know about. But for the most part, in lower leagues, the strategies don't change much. So I think that this is going to add a little bit of spice, I guess, to the the way that wars are run. I know that I'm going to change up my strategy a little bit for my team, but I'm excited. I think I'm going to try it out once. How did you like the Assault event, by the way?
I enjoyed it. I was very sad to learn that there was a glitch, though, where you could use the battle cry in your drag mode one-shot after that. I was wondering how some select players got there so fast, and then others couldn't. And that became very clear.
Yeah, I did not hear about that until one of the last days. It was, well, I saw a Obsidian Pathox one-shot all my towers in Atlas. And I was like, dude, this is a hacker. I didn't realize that they actually had the glitch with Battlecry until it was too late. But yeah, some players had max points in the event immediately, which was suspicious.
Just warning anybody, if you use Battlecry in regular game and do that kind of glitch, you are risking being banned, as it is a known glitch that you're abusing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. That's a good PSA then. Is it still working? I thought they fixed it. Or
on dragons that naturally have it, it is not in use, but you can still equip it.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Besides that, how did you like it? I thought it was nice having a second event going. All the extra rewards was awesome.
I had a lot of fun and frustration, like everybody else, trying to figure out how to do this. I was a little sad you had to equip riders. I understand it, but I thought it was fun. I thought they were challenging. They were very challenging and fun. Yeah, I didn't get max points on most of them, but that's okay. It was fun, though.
Yeah, it was nice for the rewards. Like, free-to-play players or, whoever, you didn't have to spend energy packs even. You could just do it and then get, I think, up to 80 or so gold chests. I mean, that's awesome.
It was definitely a good chunk, and right in the middle of breeding event, I know that helped a lot of people. I mean, it helped me, and I can't imagine it didn't help everybody.
Oh yeah. What did you get? Did you get anything last breed?
No, I actually got nothing. I was breeding the newest mythic sorcerer, Saphirian.
Oh, Seraph or whatever.
Seraph, yeah. That one. Yes. Yeah, cool. I did not finish it, but I was close to it.
He's nice for an invader, but not much else, unfortunately.
That's what I've seen.
Well, awesome. I appreciate the time that you set aside for me. It's been a pleasure talking to you, listening, and learning some stuff about Atlas. Hope you guys enjoyed listening, and maybe we'll do another one. I don't know if you're interested in doing it or if anyone else would like it, but let us know down in the comments section, and maybe also subscribe to McNalti here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, guys.